Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. We are reviewing day one of the fourth test match between India and Australia. And Australia ended day one with on 255 for 4. Usman Khawaja getting his 100 in the last over of the day. A brilliant innings from him. Everyone wanted this pitch. They got the pitch. I would still say it wasn't as flat as you can get. India did bowl well for majority of the day, but it was when they got the new ball, I think momentum shifted. But we will go into that in further detail. First of all, my co-host Faisal, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, doing good. I mean, it's very funny when you think about it that Australia is still in its first innings, and considering the test matches that we've had, शॉक में आ गया यार मैं डे वन पे अगर कुछ भी ऐसा मैजिक नहीं हुआ. Usman Khawaja, man, credit to him. He had to sit out, consistently for two series. He was emotional when in his press conference. क्या बोलने बोल रहा था कि 8 test matches के बाद I got a chance and I finally made most of it. And I think it was coming, man. The way he's been batting throughout the series, he's been impeccable. He really soaked up the conditions and he really understood how to get the boundaries, how to make an innings out of these kind of pitches. Mentally, I think everybody was prepared for a rank turner as well. They felt कि भाई कुछ तो भी रहेगा. But yeah, I think it was a bit flatter than most of the wickets. It was a little bit more easier to bat on. In the initial 6 overs, I think Indian bowlers struggled to get their line right. We saw a lot of movement from Shami, particularly. We saw him, being very wayward, maybe it was the chills that he was playing at home or something. But
I mean, itself was a wide, right, of the test match.
It went almost to the slip. It went to Virat Kohli, in fact. So,
and you talk about fine margins. You talked about the start also. KS Bharat dropping that sitter. I think that also
man.
It can prove costly. I know Travis Head only got to 30, but that's still 20-30 runs on the board. And one wicket with the new ball, it'll give you the confidence. It'll put Australia under more pressure. Once they got to 50 for no loss, I think it eased the pressure over there. So that's also something that India will have to look at. They need to take the chances in the field.
Yeah, I think they even in likes of Labuschagne, they got a bit lucky how Shami got an inside edge on him, though the ball was like a little bit outish. Labuschagne was unfortunate to get a thing. Smith came mentally prepared that he wanted to play a big innings. I think he was ready to do that. He soaked in a lot of deliveries, about 135, I think, if I'm not wrong. Second session, thoda slow kar diya Australia. Smith, I don't know. That was a lot of complaint from Matthew Hayden. He was also saying, and I agree because both ज़्यादा slow हो गया था. They were not picking a lot of boundaries. But then the third innings, their momentum picked up as the new ball picked up. 100 runs came in that session. Like I mentioned in last episode, my fantasy pick being Cameron Green, right? Because this guy, explosive batting man, has cover drives. His height gives him an advantage. Both Zabardast Cameron Green was the main guy in the last session, and Usman Khawaja himself said that I was giving him the strike because he was easily able to find the gaps and stuff. So yeah, credit to them. India, a lot of work to do. Ashwin not Ashwin though getting the breakthrough, not a lot of spin on it for the spinners.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
wasn't much to it.
looks bleak.
Yeah, but from Usman Khwaja's point of view, also I felt even this was his least aggressive innings from all the test matches. He was much more aggressive in the other two tests, but I think that's what was required. I know that like some people were getting a bit agitated, but on this kind of pitch where you have a bit something for the bowler, but not too much, you can actually take your time. But you think don't get out, don't make a silly mistake. Like Steve Smith is unlucky the way he got out. He could have just
Mhm.
tortured India. Like they could have got to 4, 5, 600 if he stayed there. They still can do that, but on this kind of pitch, you need to trust your defense. You need to consume deliveries because there will be moments, especially we saw when the second new ball was taken to score runs. You will have those moments. It's about tiring the
Mhm.
bowlers on this pitch. You don't need to really worry about your wicket because unless you lose concentration, there's not gonna be many demons. It's slow as well, right? Like whatever is happening, it's a bit slow. Even the bouncers they were bowling, Umesh Yadav and Shami, it was like a spongy bounce. You didn't get that extra zip or anything like that. So I think that even Usman Khawaja, the way he played, it was more conservative, but it was very effective today.
And that's what exactly he said in this, when as soon as the match finished and they give the, mic to him, he said that I was controlling my temptation of coming down the ground. What I was doing in the
Hmm.
previous two tests, I didn't do that because I wanted to make an innings out of this one, particularly because I wanted to get a century in India. It was a lot of mental battle between myself and my temptation. And he's like, "Bhai, मेरे को आगे आगे खेलना था. I wanted to play those reverse sweeps. I wanted to play those dangerous shots. But I said, no, Usman, it's time to sort of calm down. Think long, think for the betterment of the team. And yeah, you see 255 on the board. Ideally, अगर आप Delhi और नागपुर में ऐसा total देखते थे, you would be like, oh my God, it's over. The match is done. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
credit to Australia. They picked out the batting. Uh, and they right now looking very strong. It's just tomorrow. Dekna if there's any turn for the spinners or not.
Yeah, I remember saying good day of Test cricket today. All round, I think all three Test matches were really good. Even West Indies, Jason Holder was fighting when I last saw. I don't
Fighting
know if he got all out. Uh,
67. No,
yeah,
yeah.
251 all out. So like he was also fighting it out. So even the Sri Lanka Test match, we'll talk about that. That was also a very good performance of Sri Lanka. They have maybe the noses ahead. Again, in New Zealand, I feel that on day 4 or 5 is the best time to bat. So there's still plenty of stuff to do for Sri Lanka. They need to stop that New Zealand juggernaut. For India, though, it's now trying to get Australia under 400 or around that score, like 350, 360, and then batting big. Getting that
Mm,
500, 550 mark and getting a 100, 150 run lead. I know it's easier said than done, but that's what they have to
yeah.
approach it. There are times where they picked up wickets today also, right? 2 wickets, then a break, then 2 wickets again. I think they have to be at it from ball one again and be patient at times. But they have to break this partnership. That's the most important. Khwaja and Cameron Green can really punish you. And the way Cameron Green plays, he will start toying with the field and make life difficult. So early wickets. You saw that delivery. Was it Shami Board or Umesh Yadav where it hit him on the glove and it went? It could have gone anywhere, but it landed in
Anywhere,
the
yeah.
deep area. So maybe pepper him with short balls because his height. He's so tall, and here it doesn't bounce as much as it does, like in Australia or in New Zealand. So like it's coming to
Hmm.
an awkward situation for him, and that's why he's struggling a bit in that thing. But
And also, they were talking about that. Mustafa, he's 6 feet 8, and Jugawa on Honest, already he's on his knees when he's batting. He's already half, and whereas Usman Khawaja obviously he's not that tall. They were talking about the difference between their batting stance, and Cameron Green, because of his height, he has to sort of be in this position where he's a little bit ready to even play a pull. So it makes it harder for him to play a pull shot, but maybe on drive it's easier for him.
on these conditions,
Uh,
the same
yeah,
one
on
as
his
the
country.
Gabba, he'll just pull it like that because he'll
Pull it
bounce.
right,
Right.
exactly. Bounce,
So, like
exactly.
in
Yeah,
these
that's the main
conditions,
reason.
it's a bit awkward for him. But when it comes to his defense, the reach, like playing spinners as well, he can play
Wow.
the sweep, he can play the cut
Yeah,
shot. He's good on the front and back foot,
yeah.
and yeah, he was really good today. I think Cameron Green, especially, I would have said it could have been a 50-50 day if India got one more wicket and 20 less runs because on that kind of pitch you're picking up wickets and the run rate was always in check, but that new ball changed everything. I think it's put in Australia forward in the test match. It doesn't mean the test match is over. You've seen it's good to bat on.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good
yeah.
on B2 and 3 as well. But India will have to break this. If Australia get to 500, then it becomes very difficult for India.
Okay, like I'll put a scenario in front of you. If you, let's say you're Rohit Sharma, you see that this test match is going nowhere, right? I mean, would you be happier with the draw? Would you try and like get out of it? Like, I mean, I'm saying nowhere, but let's say like, would you be at the end of the day happier with the draw than a loss? Obviously, right? So I think
No,
Rohit, yeah,
I don't. The thing is, you'll have to go for it because the way it is set. by losing or drawing, it's not going to make a difference. Yes, you draw the series and overall up nahi jeete series, that's a separate thing. But in terms of the WTC context, it doesn't make a difference. You need to win to confirm qualification. If you lose or draw, you're still depending on Sri Lanka, which is fine. I mean, for New Zealand to win, which is completely fine, and New Zealand will probably win a test match. But again, why do you want to leave it in their hands? So you have to go for the victory.
Exactly.
I think, if I'm Rohit Sharma, like you have to go hell for leather. You need to get them all out as soon as possible, and then you have to bat big, bat once, bat big, and put pressure on Australia. That means if you have to come in the fourth innings and wipe a 60-70 run deficit, वो ठीक है. Lekin India's now goal is to get them all out under 400. I feel even if they get to 450, 460, that doesn't mean India's not in the game. India's still in the game. It depends on the way they bat. The speed which they bat with,
Temperate.
the control which they bat with. That will also think. We can't really judge the pitch until both teams have batted on it, basically.
It doesn't look like it's gonna crack anytime soon, right? It looked pretty much even throughout the day. It didn't look like there was any kind of a difference from the first session to the third session, though. Maybe, I mean, it is a little bit drier than the other pitches, a bit more flatter. But like you said, I think once the second team bats, then only we'll know if there's any change in the context.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Day
mean,
three, day
they look
four,
very
बढ़िया
solid
था.
right
Like
now.
I think day
They
five.
look, but abhi maut dal rahe yaar, Australia. Like very honestly, like I was impressed the way Usman Khawaja and everyone looked like little strong. Like Smith looked very good. Smith was unlucky to get out inside edge, and then Hanscombe came in. He scored a handy 17, right? So it looked like everybody can bat on this pitch, and yeah, I'd only should from an Indian perspective just try to getting wickets and get on the pitch as soon as you can for batting.
Yeah, I think day 4, 5 it will turn for sure. It'll take turn because with the heat and everything, it will crack up. But for now, it's a good batting wicket. Again, like I'd say, it's not flat. There's something in it. Like the pace is a bit slow, I feel,
Movement, yeah.
and you'll get some low bounce. Already, we've seen a bit of low bounce, but of course, it's not like the first 2, 3 Test matches. And I think India succumbed under that pressure. Just one loss changed their mind. I told you also, like the ranked run is going to help them more than anything. If you want, that's the best time. Yeah, you lost one game, but for Australia to win back to back on ranked runners, I think would have been much more difficult. Over here, you're playing into their hands. They like these kind of conditions. It's a bit easier for them to bat on. They will take the time. It's like a Sydney kind of wicket, maybe not the
And
same,
with
but
the
the
and with the
pace.
likes of Stark and stuff, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Stark is going to destroy us if this pitch holds on. Stark knows how to get one or two in the beginning. The session with the new ball. His new ball overs are very dangerous, and I feel he can cause a lot of damage. And with the height that Cameron Green has, he also will be an effective bowler for Australia.
Yeah, you're kind of playing into their hands in that way. So, and the pressure did that to them. The loss, over there in Indore completely changed everything. And now Sunil Gavaskar come and saying, "Why did you make a pitch like this? You should have. Why did you play in the hands?" And this is
He was
always.
pretty critical. He was pretty critical even of the first ball of Shami. अगर आप देखें Shami को ने गिनते रहा था left right center that these are the balls that you have to sort of let the bowler know, batsman know that who you are, what you're going at. You should put it at the stumps. भाई उतना reverse हो गया उसका ball. Like come on, give him some slack. बोल तो सनी पाजी तो किराको का ना सुन तो बोल के
So like,
शर्ट फाड़ के आ गए थे.
मैं तो वही बोला, like they should have just gone with the Turner, man. I don't think like this should have been.
But a lot of questions will be raised. A lot of questions will be clear. A lot of questions will
No,
be
you
raised.
can't
Like in
now
India.
raise any question because this is what everybody. I mean, not you. I'm just saying in general, like the media, the management, everybody. Khalas, they're all saying ki, like you got out like a ranked runner. Why are you making pitches like that? Give your batsman a time. Now you can't make excuses. This is your pitch. You have to play. I still feel India can win this Test match. Having said all that, I think they
Yeah,
can still
I
win
mean
the
just
Test
day
match.
one. It's just
But
day one. Yeah.
but I just feel that like you makes it a bit more difficult. You'll have to grind it out, and yeah, if that's what you want to see in Test cricket, sure, like it's fine. There's nothing wrong in it. Either way, I'm not too worried about the pitch. I think from India's point of view, like Ibrahim Bhai said, they have to get Green and Khwaja out, or Australia will score big. Anything above 400 will start becoming difficult. 400 and under will be the score India is looking at. And then, if they can get to a 500, get some sort of lead and put pressure on Australia, that's how it's going to work. Because when this pitch does crumble, it'll become extremely difficult to bat on. And if India can bowl during that time, perhaps day 4, then I think it will be in their favor. So we'll have to wait and see until they bat and what will happen tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's a crucial day in terms of, for both teams. Australia can, completely plant their foot in this game and basically be in the driver's seat if they get a 450, 500 lead. But for India, if they can start batting tomorrow by tea, then yeah, it's game on. I think either way it would
Yeah,
go
and
to.
also protect their wickets at the same time. You don't want to lose a lot of early wickets. That's also one more thing.
Yeah, India will
Once
have
you
to
lose,
take a leaf of Australia's book. They have to be patient, trust your defense first, but uske baad aap like shots khelo. There will be times, whether it's with the new ball or when the spinners get tired, there will be times where you will be able to attack. But you'll have to trust your defense. You don't need to go crazy on this pitch because it's not like a survival thing, but like one ball will get you. No, if you apply yourself like Khwaja did, and Smith was very unlucky, but like if you do apply yourself, I think there is value for your shots and everything towards the end. So you just have to be a bit patient.
yeah, indeed, I think that's one thing. But again, the potential neighbors or potential second position people, Sri Lanka are playing very well. And I think someone was telling us in our group that they decided to take the baseball technique into their hand or something. But man, they scored 300 on one day. Credit to them. Kusal Mendes, splendid innings from him.
I was
Uh,
that inning. I was that first session I watched the Sri Lanka New Zealand one, and the way he approached it, it took me by surprise as well. They did lose an early wicket over there, and the pitch was green at the toss. Right, I'm like, this is a very good toss for New Zealand to win and bowl first, and it's going to be difficult for Sri Lanka. Magar unhe jo khela on a green pitch. At one point, he was 50 of 30 deliveries or something. I think he ended with the 87 of 83 around that much, but the way he batted, man, some of his shots like आगे बढ़ के भी दे रहा था, pull भी अच्छा मार रहा था, front foot, back foot, he looked very, very confident. And yeah, man, it was really good to see him. Kusal Mendes, the way he played. Karuna Ratne gave a good helping stand, and Angelo Matthews still playing, man. I thought he
Yeah,
retired.
man. Yeah, and he was actually even good in the Sri Lankan, what is it, SLT20 or Sri Lankan Premier League,
LPL.
whatever it is. LPL, yeah, LPL. He was actually good. He got a few decent innings under his belt. So, I mean, I think he's just
Yeah,
feeling more fitter than alive. So it's like it's good to see him back. But even Dhananjay Silva currently there. Dhananjay can hit and get in it. So I think another 150 would be good for Sri Lanka. And
I mean, that's a
then
lot of runs. If they can get that, that'll be too good. Like, I
if
was
they're
thinking
going by this momentum, if they're going by this momentum and smacking and stuff, then yeah, why not?
वो 4 wicket है, right? वही like the thing is these two will have to make most of the runs, and then you need to hope some contributions from the tail. But
Contributions on the
I
tail,
could
yeah,
see this they could also get 350 all out if they don't watch it. Like they have to be a bit careful,
100%.
and I think 400 minimum on this pitch because New Zealand might score 500-600, man. Batting will be good on the day 3, day 4 in New Zealand, day
Wow.
5 as well.
But yeah, I just have to keep our eyes open on the side to side exchange रख के
ये
देखना है
श्रीलंका
भाई
जीत
बहुत
गई और इंडिया यहाँ पे हार गई तो फिर बहुत
बहुत
परेशानी
pressure
वाली
है.
है.
Then you see how many people was in Sri Lanka New Zealand match at 3:30
Yeah.
in the morning.
It'll be
Everyone's going
great.
to be awake.
Yeah, it'll be great for
3:30 in the morning.
viewership for New Zealand, but like, yeah, it's gonna create a lot of problems if Sri Lanka win this game and India. Because then it's just एक टेस्ट मैच की बात है, then कुछ भी हो सकता है. 1-0 जीत रहे हैं आप, 2-0 भी जीत सकते हैं, आप हार भी जा सकते हैं, मगर yeah, destiny will be in their hands, not in your hands, and that's why India need to take bigger steps in this game. I think day 2, day 3 they need to have stronger days. Today I think they lost both sessions, and the first session it was a bit even, so they need to come out and win the first session, then maybe even it out in the second, and then win the third session. That's what they have to take it session by session, hour by hour. First hour is to break this partnership and then take it from there. From Australia's point of view, it's just about building and make as many runs as you can and put India under pressure, because the way they're going to look at it is ki bhai we're going to bowl last on this pitch, it's going to break and we will put pressure on India, so we need to bat as much as we can. Of course, we've seen wickets do go in bunches in this series, and that's why they have to be careful. But you mentioned Mitchell Stark. I think he can be dangerous with the bat as well. Alex Carey also, the types of shots he likes, I think this pitch will help him. It'll suit him in terms of playing that reverse.
And he likes to get quick runs, right? We've seen him against South Africa also. He got an easy 60-70 runs. That'll add a lot of damage to India. और भाई like इस तरीके से देखा, अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया 600 मारे, then India के लिए बहुत मुश्किल हो सकता है.
Yeah, 600 mark तो खत्म है भाई. I think even 500 is a very big score. They have to get them under 400, that like 380, 390 mark. Ibrahim Bhai saying yes, Mendes 50 or 40 deliveries was good. Oh, 40, sorry, I kept thinking it's 30. He counter-attacked well after New Zealand opening bowlers got off to a good start. Sadi and Henry were excellent first 10 overs. Yeah, man, and that's why I was really shocked the way he basically transitioned in the beginning. It was a green pitch, the ball was moving, everything. It was difficult for the opening batters, but the way he played counter-attack, scored runs at a quick rate, I think it was very good, and it's given Sri Lanka a good score. Now let's see what happens, but they're in the game. They're well and truly in the game against New Zealand, and this is the start that they wanted. 300 on the first day, I think they'll take it.
Speaking of shock, England was shocked by Bangladesh. Huh? They
Yeah.
managed to beat them in the first T20, and I'm be telling you guys, like no one can believe me. Bangladesh are a good side. I was talking about two players. Now I spoke about one of their players, Tohid Hirdoi, who was very good in the PPL, very effective for them. He got about 400 runs. This guy was something else then. And then there's another guy, Ronnie Takuldar
Screwwala,
or
Tendulkar.
Talukdar. वो तो director है.
Yeah.
तो yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, Bangladesh, man, they played very good, disciplined bowling, didn't leak a lot of runs, kept England always in check. But like, they managed to chase it, man. That's like something
They
crazy.
bro,
And
they were going like 10, 11 runs and over. I think the required was like just under 8. And from the start, they're going 10 runs and over. They finished the game in the power play itself. And then it was just a formality for Sakib to come and finish it off along with Afif Hussain. But yeah, I think you talk about Herdoi, he was impressive, and so was Ronnie. They were both impressive. But it was Shanto, man. Shanto is the
Shanto,
one
man.
who, like,
Shanto's been crazy throughout the series, man. He's really
yeah,
got his rhythm back. India against he struggled a lot, but this guy is a very good batsman.
he was the main
Lipton
man.
has to come back into action. Lipton is not firing. He needs some Lipton in his bum.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
Shanto was the main man in terms of batting and bowling. I think everyone contributed. Hassan Mahmood picked up a couple, but everyone else took a wicket each, and economy was pretty decent. I think the highest was probably Taskeen. Apart from that, everyone was under check in terms of economy. And to restrict England under 160, that's a huge, it's a huge achievement, and they won the game. And congratulations.
but like with this England mentality or temperament, you cannot really burn them or like get to their nerves. Like yeah, we lost, so what? It's like that. We'll go next game. Like
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's so funny. Like अगर
they're
आप मेरे
T20
को अगर
champions,
बोले
you know that,
अगर
right?
आप अगर आप अगर आप इंडिया को बोले like for any Indian fan को अरे तुम्हारी टीम अपन थोड़ा irritate होते तो क्या we just play the next game and we see it. Baseball baby. Hashtag बोल के कुछ तो भी रहता है,
Yeah,
like they don't
they're
care.
T20 champions. Like people, like, if this was India, everyone say we beat the champions, this, that, there would be a hoo-ha thing. These are T20 champions, but they move in silence, man. They just do what they want to do. If they lose games, no problem. उन लोग style नहीं बदलेंगे. They'll try different things, different methods, and if they lose, they lose. They did win the one day series. If they lost the one day series, they would have been more a bit shouting and screaming
I'm
because
pretty
the
sure.
World Cup is coming. But this is a
Yeah.
T20 game. The T20 World Cup is done. They're champions. They're done and dusted with that trophy. They're just taking it lightly. You would say that's what you would think, but of course, no one takes any international game lightly. You also, like you said, you have to give credit to Bangladesh. Bangladesh is not an easy team to beat in their conditions because it's
100%.
ranked runners also with the white ball. It's not
Exactly.
just the red
Yeah.
ball. Like it
Yeah.
becomes challenging in all conditions with with any ball, whether it's red or white or pink. It's always going to turn in Bangladesh, and that's where England will have to adapt. Even if you see the one day series, it could have easily been 2-1 the other way. I felt the
Mhm.
first one day was very close. It was Malan who was the difference between the two sides. अगर उन्हें out हो गया तो they could have lost that game. Then they did lose the third one. The second, yes, they were convincing. So, like, these are going to be challenging conditions for any team. And if England are struggling a bit, every team will. India also lost a one day series there. So it's never easy touring Bangladesh.
Yeah, 100%. And they've come a long way. I think the way they structured their team, they got Shakib as the most experienced leader.
नहीं
Leighton
ऊपर
Das, I'm
उन
still
लोग फ्लक्चुएट कर दिया है भाई. I think they could have been right now, like, in like top 4 or
top
5,
five, top six.
like in
Yeah,
World
yeah,
Cups. Like
100%.
उन
Yeah,
लोग पीछे एकदम से they went into politics and this and that, and they just screwed their team over. Now they're coming back from it. There was a time,
yeah.
you
But
remember, after they beat India in 2007. After that, they started building a team. I think in 16 they were a very good team as well.
you remember that game that played Tapash Baisha got Australia out, I mean, they won at the end when they beat Australia
Yeah,
in
yeah. That
216
was
total or
long
something?
back. That was long back.
Yeah.
But you remember in 2016 when Dhoni did that famous run out. If Bangladesh won that game, I think
Mhm.
things would have changed. But that game really like broke their hearts and just like screwed them, man. And after that, we didn't see them as well.
But even in
2019,
the T20 World Cup, I feel so bad for them. Like they were beating us, they were killing us.
yeah.
We were dead. And then rain
In
just
this
helped
one as well,
us.
yeah. 2019 also, Sakib was amazing. All rounder. He was probably the best all rounder on display. They
On
beat.
play, yeah.
They beat, I think, South Africa and New Zealand in that as a World Cup as well. So they had some good wins under their belt over there. But yeah, in between उनका cricket थोड़ा वो हो गया था. लेकिन ये आप बताइए, how was Roy in the
अरे
PSL yesterday?
भाई यार ये क्या innings है man. Like I was shocked 145 kaisa mare. Then when I saw the innings, man, I was like this guy. But I'm not lying now. Everyone is telling me कि भाई ये WPL से छोटे बाउंड्री and ये दिख रहे भाई WPL से छोटे ग्राउंड. मजाक नहीं. और WPL की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं वहाँ पे
ये
दिल्ली
पिंडी में था
बॉम्बे का.
नहीं?
या पिंडी में था. पिंडी में मिला दिया ने सबको.
पिंडी
Bro,
में
like
पिंडी boys
that was
making all the
something
noise.
else.
छोटा सा ground, yeah. ग्राउंड
Yeah.
छोटा था मगर फिर भी 240 आप चेस कर रहे, थोड़ा प्रेशर तो रहता, like 2 over 2 स्पेयर मार दिया उन्हें.
Man, I feel bad for Bobby, man. Bobby was so mara, mar ke Jason Rodgers made it look like it's a 20 run, 100 like 20.
What did you make
Kitty
of
jaldi
Simon
maan.
Dewell's criticism? And then a lot of journalists pounced on that as well. There's a lot of people who are after Babar these days, and they said ki, Simon Dewell did say, like, the last few deliveries for him to get to 100, I think on a 15 ball khaliya from 80 to 100. Like 15 piece ball or something like that. And so what do you think about that criticism? I still feel that he punched above his weight in terms of strike rate. And
I mean, see,
I don't know how the blame comes to him, but I understand it, but I don't know how the blame comes to him in this
yeah,
particular game.
I mean, if they're talking about the last 10 balls, if 8 balls, okay, take, I get it. Like, it's a lot of deliveries, but man, you still have to understand he got you guys to 240 or whatever, 220, whatever the target was, right?
240,
200
man,
is a
240, 220, nahi,
240,
240.
240, wait, 240, and 240 is a very respectable score. Even if you take out the last
Respectable.
8 balls, like, मैं bro, like just to
It's a
make it sound
crazy
professional,
score.
मैंने तो मौत डाल दिए बाहर भाई, but like
It's a
it's
miracle
a crazy
score.
score, yeah, it's an
Yeah.
amazing score, and like 240 on any pitch is a winning score or T20, right?
Yeah.
आप उधर से अगर हारे तो even 300 man Jason I would have chased it down. So 145 comes in like a million years. Simon Dole will not say anything had Peshawar won, had Babar won. He wouldn't have said anything.
No,
No one would
but
have
the
said anything.
interesting
But
thing
just
was
because he
he
lost.
made the comment while he was batting. That's what I found interesting. So he made उन्हें जब भी बोल
Yeah.
दिया था. I think so.
I
If
think
you
I think
listen to,
I think he was frustrated because he had to watch the Pakistan New Zealand Test series as well with us. तो उन्हें वो frustration अब निकाल रहा finally because वो
नहीं
रोड
मगर
वहां पे भी
नहीं,
रोड देख देख के
देखो
पागल हो गया था.
काफी जर्नलिस्ट बाबर के पीछे है और उन लोग बोल रहे हैं स्ट्राइक रेट बोल के नैरेटिव बना दे रहे, which is like okay, it's fine. Like I agree that his strike rate needs to improve in T20 cricket. I agree all that, but then when you have 240 on the board, I don't think like you can only blame him. You have to blame your boulders, your fielders. The fielding was pathetic as well. There was one boundary सीधा like चले गया Kubri, like straight, like that's a single,
Yeah.
and he went straight. The fielding was pathetic, bowling as well. I know it's a small ground, man, but still 240 on any ground is a
And
big
bro,
score.
145 or 63 is anyway like once in a lifetime kind of a thing, right? And it's just unfortunate वो हुआ उसके साथ. अगर वही बोला like even while he's doing it, I get it. चलो he's saying it from a batsman perspective. 8 balls of खपाए 240 है यार. Come on, like even mentally as a batsman, you'd be like I can take a few deliveries for myself because 200 तो पहुंच गए यार, जीत ही जाएंगे. आप यहाँ के
No,
140 का
I completely understand what he's saying. I'm sure like it's not wrong what he's saying, Simon Dewey. What he's saying is correct, right? It's facts.
yeah.
Like he did waste a few deliveries here and there, but I'm just interested that he said it. Like of all people, like Simon
Yeah,
Dewey.
he's usually quiet. He's usually in Dubai shopping. We've seen him shopping in Dubai. But
Like,
yeah, I understand. Yeah.
like criticizing like Babar on the thing. Imagine someone does that in Virat Kohli in India
I'm telling you,
IPL.
he's just frustrated. He's just frustrated from India, Pakistan, New Zealand, and that road. I think that's all. He's taking it out of now. But
अब
yeah, unfortunately for Babar losing, had it not been, the narrative would have been different probably.
अब इंडिया से किसी का 200 चाहिए, बिल्कुल बड़ा एक शतक चाहिए या
We
200
need the
चाहिए.
goat. We need the goat. The goat has to get up. मतलब goat बोले तो विराट कोहली has to get up and shine. और ये pitch पे I think विराट कोहली will murder anyone because it's a suited pitch for him. He likes these kind of pitches. He likes to play fast bowling. मेरे हिसाब से I think विराट कोहली will be the key to India. And yes, रोहित शर्मा is there. I do know that. But मेरे हिसाब से विराट कोहली का अगर पिच में कुछ ज्यादा बदलावट नहीं आई या चेंज नहीं आई एंड टर्नर वर्नर नहीं बन गया बीच के रास्ते में, आई थिंक इट्स गोना बी समथिंग एल्स फॉर विराट कोहली दिस वन.
It's not a small ground. They just brought boundaries in, actually 80 to 85 meter boundaries. But I think the boundaries they brought it in, like, thing, it wasn't 80 meters yesterday, the boundary. I felt that, like, thak maar ke, like, it was just going for 6. I think maybe.
वो भी कंसीडर करना हवा में मारे पूरे तो वो समय एंड पेस इतनी है ना, मतलब पीएसएल में a lot of pace bowlers having a
But still, I
140.
don't think it was this big, the boundary. I mean, Ibrahim, like you can, like if you can confirm with me, I'll gladly accept if I'm wrong. But again, I'm not saying it's a 40, 50 meter boundary, but I was thinking it's around 65, 70. I'll be very honest with you.
We were actually discussing this WPL का मुस्तफा. Who do you think will win between Delhi and Mumbai? Match तो चल रहा है अभी and Delhi were getting whooped. They were like 61 for 7.
Bro, they
Yeah,
just
man,
suddenly fell, man. They were like 80 for 4, 90 for 4, and they just like lost like 6 wickets and 15, like 21 runs, mein 5 wicket. Yeah, man, Mumbai on top. They're gonna win this game. It looks like it, and they bowl really well. If you that man, this I mean, Isi Wong, I know of her like incredible figures again today,
Shaika,
but
man.
but
Shaika
yeah,
is the main
Saika
one.
Ishaq, like she's the one who's been the standout. Even in the last game, if you remember, she bowled so well.
And two test.
I mentioned like she's experienced. It's not like she's young, like I think 27, 28 around that like age. So she's experienced, but I haven't seen her around like that. And the way she's bowled was incredible today. I
She's got
didn't watch.
already about 9 to 10 wickets, bro, in the tournament. तीन या
Yeah,
चार matches खेली,
she's been
she got
really
10 or
good.
9 wickets. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
100%.
bought into 65 7. हाँ देखो तो छोटा हो
हाँ,
गया
ये
तो
तो मैं भी क्लियर कर लूंगा ये तो फिर.
मैं तो नहीं कर सकता हूँ मैं लाइक आई कांट क्लियर मैं तो लाइक 40 भी मुश्किल से क्लियर करता हूँ बट लाइक 30 यार्ड से कभी मुश्किल से क्लियर करता हूँ लेकिन it's small for professional cricketers like for I think it's very small. You could see Jason Roy is enjoying those short boundaries. Roy ने गुस्सा निकाला T20 टीम में नहीं लिया and
बट
look this is
ये
the
गुस्सा
world cup of
ये गुस्सा जायज भी नहीं. अगर 65 या 75 मीटर के ग्राउंड पे आप छक्के मार रहे हो तो ये गुस्सा जायज नहीं है मेरे लिए तो
नहीं मैं
बहुत
उन्हें
convincing
क्लियर कर
है.
रहा था राइट कितने की क्राउड में भी जा रहा था दो छक्के भी बड़े ही मार रहा था उन्हें इट्स नॉट लाइक ही वाज जस्ट क्रॉसिंग द बाउंड्री लाइन
नहीं,
इट वाज अ वेरी गुड विकेट आल्सो आप देखो शारजाह की जो ग्राउंड है वो छोटी है राइट अब पहले तो बहुत बड़ा दिखता था बहुत छोटी ग्राउंड है टिवाटिया उसमें 6 छक्के मारा बट जब पिच आपको साथ नहीं देता यू कैन सी स्कोर्स ऑफ 130 140 आल्सो बीइंग स्ट्रगल टू चेस इन शारजाह सो इट आल्सो द पिच वाज वेरी गुड लाइक यू नो टू बैट ऑन इट वाज फ्लैट. Jason Holder with another good innings, 81, not out batting with the tail. Incredible, man. He's kept them. I think it's still difficult for West Indies to win this test match, but he's given them a fighting chance if they can get South Africa out early, maybe under 150. Then you know it's game on. But yes, a very good innings on a tough wicket. He's batted really well with the tail. MC, thank you for joining us. Stat padder hai. Babar 10 balls makes a lot of difference. 240 ke jagah 260 hota. Small boundaries mein manna easy hai. Roy showed that can take 16 balls in T20 to get 100.
They had 14 balls after that also, man. They get 240, 260 बना. Roy on the pitch, it was still like what 240 था, like 18.4 या 18.2 में खत्म हुआ मैच. तो they still had like
उन्हें 260 में अगर होता था उन्हें 260 और एक 5 बॉल में खत्म कर देता था 260
exactly
दो ओवर
like
पे स्कोर
man.
मारा उन्हें. So I agree with Faiz.
Call out. No, I'm just saying, call out the bowling. Why aren't you calling out the ball? The bowling by Peshawar. It's been pathetic, and they've just not backed Babar, bichara. Like, come on, even if he scored 100, like same situation, you put Virat Kohli or anybody, everybody would go like, "Oh, Virat ne apna kaam kar diya, wo haath ho diya, khatam." But you've got to be equally, loyal,
वैसे
not
सचिन में
loyal, but
कितने
probably
इनिंग
a
में
little
90
bit
में कितना
defensive.
टाइम वेस्ट हुआ बोलो बहुत
सचिन
थे
तेंदुलकर 100 मारा बांग्लादेश के अगेंस्ट. कितना मारा था, कितना टाइम लिया था 100 मारने? The last 10 balls he took, how long he took the last 10 runs to make 100?
and
कौन
they
नहीं
lost the
बोलेंगे.
game. They lost that
I
game.
know, I know Musa भाई के भाई सबसे पहले आएंगे चप्पल लेके मारने मेरे को. He loves Tendulkar, but Tendulkar took to make 10 runs. He took like some 25 balls, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, look, like I think it's a bit harsh that call. I am with you guys in terms of his strike rate. I'm with you guys, like thing. But he's like, you have to understand not everybody can play on the strike rate of what you want. Yes, he's not on the level of Virat Kohli. We all know that, but he's a
विक्की
good
को लग दिया
batsman.
यार. विक्की को लग दिया पूरे. वहाब रियाज को लग दिया कल. 56 रन दिया वहाब रियाज को.
और जेसन रॉय वैसा प्लेयर है. देखो, he's coming from that kind of brand of cricket. उसको ऐसा पिच दे तो थोड़ा ग्राउंड like छोटे बाउंड्रीज कर दो, then he'll also like he will take full advantage of it, and he also has a point to prove. He wants to be in the England team. Like, he has competition from Alex Hales, he has competition, so he's gonna try his best. ऑस्ट्रेलिया को काफी टाइम के बाद गुड फास्ट बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर मिला है ग्रीन. या वाकई बहुत जबरदस्त है उन्हें. बैटिंग भी उसकी like it's just not his height and physical ability, but just his technique is pretty good. Apart from the short ball, which is causing him some issues on this particular pitch, I feel that his defense is pretty solid. His cover drive, leg side shots, pretty decent. He can pull it as well, but thoda kabhi उन्हें problem हो जाता है. Like we mentioned, on this sort of pitch, his height makes it a bit awkward. या 260 भी पॉसिबल था, but जहां क्रिटिसिज्म होना है वहां करो. He played for his 100. You are crossing formats by talking about Sachin. ODI is different and T20 nowadays is different. I mean, that's matter of convenience and narrative. Like, that's if you can.
No, I'm just talking about the situation, man. 260 as a 240.
The situation was the same. Like, India should have scored like 300 plus on that wicket, 340, 350, but he wasted 10, 15 deliveries like over there. Like, Sachin hai bol ke bura manenge loga, lekin that was it was a similar kind of thing. And with Babar,
people used to say Rahul Dravid can't hit in T20, can't hit in T20, but Rahul Dravid also भी खेला हुआ T20. I mean, मेरा हिसाब से ये है कि भाई बाबर के पीछे बहुत पड़े हुए just because of what's going on in his thing. But individually, you take out Babar's stats, man, he's possibly one of the top 10 batsmen in the world. You can't take that away from him. He's phenomenal, man. And it's
मैं एक सिंपल बात बोलूं, मैं तो क्रिटिसाइज करता हूँ उसको, स्पेशली कप्तानी
करो,
करता हूँ मैं करता
कप्तानी
हूँ,
ठीक
राइट?
है
मगर मैं एक चीज बोलूंगा खुद से, where I am wrong, right? Like I always criticize him and everything, where he's proved me wrong. This man has taken Pakistan to a semi-final and final. I never would have put them in my top. Like I did put them in my top four, but like like because I know that Pakistan have that thing, but with that team, you did not expect Pakistan to reach the semi-finals in Australia. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody did.
They've reached the finals in Pakistan reached the final. They came out of nowhere. चलो नेदरलैंड्स का luck factor है, but I final में
मगर
अपने को
उसमें भी
पता
उन लोग को साउथ अफ्रीका को मारना था, इंडिया तो हारी साउथ अफ्रीका से।
exactly. And
और
Zimbabwe
वो
से भी
इंडिया
हारी
का
थी
मैच भी
पाकिस्तान.
विराट कोहली प्लेड अ क्रेजी इनिंग्स ब्रो, लाइक आई डोंट रियली थिंक यू कैन डू मच ओवर देयर। रोहित ने कुलदीप चाहल को मारा था 2019 मेरे को याद है वो इनिंग्स, वो सबसे बेस्ट जर्सी थी इंडिया की, और डार्क ब्लू, और एक ही दिन
और
खेल के
बात है
पहने थे डार्क ब्लू, बेस्ट जर्सी थी वो। मैं बहुत एंजॉय करा था, मगर मैच फंस गया और आके धोनी बोल दिया था पांड्या को नको मारो, पाकिस्तान को आउट करना है। पांड्या दे रहा था यार उसमें। बॉलर्स दोनों टीम से मार खाई, इफ यू गिव 60 meters बाउंड्री देन मिस हिट भी बाहर जाएंगे, with the quality of the bat graveyard for bowlers on a flat pitch. Yeah, look, the thing is the pitch was flat as well, that aided the shorter boundaries, because we've seen in Sharjah as well low scores, which is a short boundary, but yeah, the pitch obviously helps. I'm just saying, like, you have to like look at the team as a collective, like it's not just Babar's fault. Everybody is saying उन्हें 10 बॉल है, उन्हें अगर और भी मार दिया, उन लोग 260 270 मारते थे, जेसन रॉय the way he's going he would have finished it. स्टैट पैडर है, कब जीता है वो पाकिस्तान को, नो इनिंग्स इन मस्ट विन गेम सेमीज दे रीच्ड बिकॉज साउथ अफ्रीका चोक। आई मीन आई हैव सीन सम मैच विनिंग innings from him, like if I remember 2019 against South Africa, when they had to keep their hopes alive, Pakistan were down and out, West Indies I think got them all out for 80 or 90 in that
80,
one day.
yeah.
Babar against New Zealand or South Africa face, they were chasing and he scored 100 I think over there. Like I remember that innings. Yeah, he's not on the level of Virat Kohli, I'm not even comparing, but to say
They're
like
not like, yeah,
bad
like now
batsman,
now these are two things. Now these are two things. Like now you're talking about semi-finals, finals, and now you're talking about like innings. But either you compare him captain wise or you compare him batsman wise. Like these are two different things, right?
no,
Captain
even
wise,
if
he's
I
much
compare
better.
him batting wise, I'm
Yeah,
not saying he's the best batter in the world, but he's up there in the like he's up there, right? He's a
100%
quality
is that.
batsman.
I'm just saying, even captain wise, he's performed better than our captains in ICCs at least.
Yeah, like I don't rate him as a captain, but he's done. He's
Yeah,
gotten his
you
team.
can't take that away. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's kept them, thing. And look, in Pakistan also there's agendas, bro. They don't want certain things. They don't want whoever you make captain. Now, for example, pehle jab Sarfaraz tha, a lot of people didn't want Sarfaraz, and now the people who were supporting Sarfaraz, they don't want Babar. It's like there's a Lahore, Punjab, Karachi thing, the Sindh kind of thing. But they say that Lahore or Punjab or Peshawar wale chala rahe cricket, so the Karachi people are upset. This and that. So there's a lot of agendas against him.
Yeah.
And yes,
Yeah.
in that Asia Cup also final, India Pakistan choked. Rizwan batted slow. Babar got out. He didn't bat well, and
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to criticize him over there. But like the way they would after him, it's a bit like it's sometimes it's a bit too
And वसीम अकरम कौन था? वो बेखूफ को लेके जाना था, शोएब मलिक को लेने के जाना था, लेकिन किसको तो भी लेके जाना था, व्हाट ही सेड, मगर पागल को लेके,
कौन बोला था वो?
आई थिंक वाज
वसीम अकरम बोला था नहीं?
वसीम अकरम या जहीर, वन ऑफ द
नहीं,
लेजेंड्स
वसीम
ओनली,
अकरम बोला था कि
पवेलियन पे।
ये मैं गधे को भी क्या बोला था नहीं,
हाँ,
गधे को
मैं गधे को लेके चले आऊंगा, शोएब मलिक को लेके चले जाऊंगा, लेकिन मैं किसी को लेके जाता था, कुछ वैसे ही बोला था। So I mean, yeah, it's just.
Oh yeah, this is not a dig at this is a dig at Pakistani fans. They're the ones who used to निकालो इसको, इन्हें निकालो, ये करो वो करो, भाई उन्हें जो भी है फाइनल पहुंचे आप, right? You lost to the best team in the world, and वो भी अच्छा fight कर रहे थे, तो like
you fought in Garage Cafe, you fought 100%.
Yeah, it was a tense game, right? It wasn't like they gave it thing. Yeah, they got lucky with the Netherlands, but when push came to shove, they made it to the final.
Didn't have Shaheen, like they had Shaheen in the final, they had him.
They had him. He got injured in the end, but they had him.
He wasn't 100%.
और जब तुम्हारा क्या नैरेटिव चल रहा था वर्ल्ड कप से पहले, इन लोग के पास मिडिल ऑर्डर नहीं है, मिडिल ऑर्डर नहीं है, मिडिल ऑर्डर नहीं है, ये बाबर रिजवान खाली खेलते, इसलिए उनको टुक टुक खेलना पड़ता। बट दिस इज द नेचुरल स्टाइल ऑफ प्ले। नाउ दे गॉट आउट, टुक टुक करके मिडिल ऑर्डर के मार रहे थे। सो देयर इज अ मिडिल ऑर्डर देयर, एंड आई थिंक वी जस्ट डिडंट नो अबाउट इट। लाइक देयर इज टैलेंट इन दैट पाकिस्तान टीम, एंड they are dangerous at times, and sometimes they will be lucky, but it's because they do play some high risk cricket. वसीम
ये
अकरम
वाला
गधे को बाप बना
this
पड़ेगा
one,
तो मैं
yeah.
बना लूंगा, ये बात करा था उन्हें, और शोएब मलिक को देख के।
और वो जो बाप बनाने जा रहे थे वो खुद तो पहल गए कराची किंग्स वाले, क्या बात करता है इन्हें. He can't even
हाँ,
coach a team.
लोग
Shocking.
वेट करते हैं भाई इसको, लाइक टू पाउंस ऑन हिम, लाइक इन सर्टेन सिचुएशंस, एंड आई एम, मेरे को क्या करने का है, लाइक उसको निकाल दिया तो, लाइक आई हैव आल्सो सेड देयर बीन कैप्टन्स हु आर बेटर देन हिम, बट व्हाटएवर जॉब ही इज डन, आई थिंक ही इज डन अ डिसेंट जॉब. लाइक यस, उन्हें
Give,
अपने रन्स खेल रहा, कभी-कभी ऐसा दिखता स्ट्राइक रेट बेकार है, कैप्टनसी उन्हें रॉन्ग डिसीजंस लेता, लेकिन ही स्टिल पंच्ड अबव हिज वेट इन सर्टेन एरियाज.
100%. And yeah, the funniest thing was when in New Zealand last session he declared, man. That was the funniest thing ever.
So, yeah, look, he does stupid things, bro. And then उसमें using we went for the win, वो सब पिंडे के बात आ रहे थे. अब उसको like he does stupid things also. He makes mistakes, but like उसको इतना अब जब कराची वाले क्या बोल रहे थे भाई, हम मैच विनर को निकाल दिए, ये वो, अब उन्हें टॉप 4 में है, इन लोग नहीं है टॉप 4 में, कराची वाले.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Karachi to hai nahi, and Quetta I think have an outside chance. They provided like Peshawar lose or something consistently,
Yeah.
but yeah, Quetta have a very outside chance, very slight outside chance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, देखना पड़ता अब. Yeah, what do you think, man? Will Mumbai easy मार लेते हैं यार? I think मेरे हिसाब से 105
Yeah.
not that hard to chill unless they lose a lot of wickets like Delhi.
I thought Delhi would win this game, man. I'm not gonna lie. I just felt the team was more balanced, but Mumbai have been killing it, man. And Ishaq has like been the game changer, and their batting is like too stacked now. Like now that I look at it, like just with their because their main players are also all rounders, bat and bowl. It feels like the team is double. Like they just have to.
Yeah, everyone can do everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they can use that batsman to bat and to bowl. So it's like
Bowl,
they
yeah.
have more players on the field. And
22,
just,
22 नहीं, चलो एक
again,
5 6
Mumbai
7
Indians have excellent recruiting, man. Like when I looked at the team, I felt it wasn't that strong, and I felt they needed like certain players to step up, and that's what's happening. Those big players are stepping up, but they're stepping up with different, with the ball and the bat, and the fielding has been really good. आज भी देखो उन लोग कैसे boundary singles रोक रहे थे, pressure डाल रहे थे दिल्ली पे. So yeah, Mumbai has been very impressive, man. Very, very good.
Very good.
Zalmi
Man,
can still be
100%.
eliminated if they lose last to Quetta and beat Multan by big margin. Yeah, so if they do lose, then yeah, there will be a lot of criticism.
And that is the only thing. That's the only thing. Like he needed to win this one, and man, Jason Roy took it away. He won this, and he would be at least in a good space. But the last two are very crucial, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Fakhar Zaman, I think.
इंडिया में तो कोई भी कभी भी सेटिस्फाइड नहीं रहेगा, ये याद रख लो तुम. पहले बोल रहे थे कि भाई रैंक टर्नर्स क्यों बना रहे, अब आज सुनील गावस्कर क्यों बोल रहा है ऐसा पिच क्यों बना, रैंक टर्नर होना था. लोग बोलेंगे बाउंड्री छोटे.
तुझे चाहिए क्या भाई? तुझे चाहिए क्या? पूछना उसको. तुझे चाहिए क्या? हर चीज में.
Everybody will have opinions. You will never have a situation where it's perfect. England versus New Zealand, for me, that was the best match that I've seen, a one-day match, right? Like World Cup final. I've never seen a World Cup final like that. Usme, there was controversy about the Ben Stokes run, the bat ko lag ke gaya. There was controversy about the super over thing. I don't know what. There was so much controversy. So nobody will be satisfied in any game. No one will leave the ground satisfied. So you just have to take it as it is, man. Enjoy the cricket which is on display. And I think it was an entertaining game. छक्के जा रहे थे, ground छोटा था, मगर मजा तो आया.
Yeah, I think it was good. Even the pitch that India has on Ahmedabad, credit like what you're saying to, it should have been a ranked turner player to their strengths. I think. Do you think India just crumbled under the pressure?
Yeah.
And just said, जो बनाना है बना लो यार, वो देख लेंगे.
Yeah, this is a better pitch, 100%. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel that they should have just gone with the ranked turner and go. Who cares? Let people criticize if they want. Take that risk.
Do you think it's a criticism? I put one more step by. Do you think it was a criticism, or do you think it's just the batsmen want to prove their ability?
No, the batsman can prove their ability on a turner as well. Rohit Sharma has got 100 on a turner. I think it's both, like it's the pressure on the batters, but in terms of like not scoring runs and everything, but it's also the pressure on the bowlers. Too much relying on Jadeja and Ashwin. Today we saw Shami in the game, we saw Umesh in the game, so they want to Aksar as well. So they want to like spread the pressure, and that's what's happening right now. Maybe if you had this pitch in the first test match and then ranked turners, it could have gone in your favor. But having this pitch on the last thing, it's a bit risky because right now you're in a position, you don't know if you're going to be in a position to win or not tomorrow, right? It might be something you might have to play for a draw. Don't get me wrong, still all three results are possible. India can win this test match, no doubt. But थोड़ा सा pressure आ गया. after he tosses.
100% प्रेशर तो आएगा यार, लाइक बिकॉज अब कभी अब 100 109 115 120 की आदत से एकदम कोई 255 मारे, अब जब तक इंडियन बैट्समैन वॉन्ट कम ऑन द पिच, अपने अपने फैंस को भी कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आएगा. So it's just as soon as you get on the pitch to bat and you are able to post out a good first innings total from India's point of view, जब आ जाके जरा सांस की राह की सांस लेंगे जो भी बोलते हैं. Yeah, so I think it's just we have to be patient. But yeah, Khawaja and Green have got to go, man. Green looks very comfortable. He looks very aggressive. I'm very scared because I saw this coming.
Yeah, saw this coming. No, I'm still confident from India's point of view. I'll only lose that confidence if they're like, 200 for 9 or something like that. I'm still pretty confident. I think on this wicket, the batters will be better.
Just
Off,
starts in swing.
I think
Just
they'll
starts in swing. Yeah.
even the Stark, I'm not too worried on this kind of pitch. Yes, maybe he will pick up a couple of wickets and cause some issues, but I just feel on this kind of pitch, I back Rohit Sharma, I back Virat Kohli, I'll back Shubman Gill, Pujara. I think they will enjoy batting on this pitch. For me, it's about getting these guys out as quickly as possible. And whether that means just under 400, I'll take that as well. Like, if Australia are all out for 402, 403, I'll take it. But if they make 500 or 480, 490, 600, then it becomes a bit difficult. Yeah, I've seen India win test matches where the opposition's made 450 and India's made 701. So I've seen that as well, but I don't think that this is that kind of pitch. It's not that flat as we see it.
You'll see something in day 3. Yeah. Yeah.
It's relatively flat because we're used to konsa रैंक टर्नर्स, मतलब ठीक है खत्म हो जा रहा एक इनिंग, तो वो वैसा नहीं है पिच, लेकिन उतना भी फ्लैट नहीं है, थोड़ा सा लो बाउंस है, थोड़ा सा.
आपको देखा मूवमेंट भी दिखा राइट इन द इनिशियल, तो द स्लिप के बीच में केएस भरत का भी थोड़ा आई थिंक कॉल आउट होगा ये चीज कि उन्हें ड्रॉप करा, बट इट चलो 32 रन दिया. आई थिंक that was a sit-in, and a lot of people in the morning WhatsApp messages I got were some people were extra angry. But yeah, I think it's just overall he's young, just give him some time. Hote ye chilla one odd slip, but he managed to then keep decently throughout the rest of the sessions. But yeah, catch is a catch and you need to take it. Hopefully we just get Khawaja. Khawaja also looks very good.
It wasn't a drop, magar unne choda tha, like it missed the bat, but he dropped it. Like I don't know, like maybe that wobble or I don't know what it is, but he dropped a couple. Like that didn't impact the state of play because it didn't edge. Like, and yeah, there was some issue with him behind the stumps, but hopefully he can work on that. He's done a good job otherwise in the past 3 games behind the stumps.
Good catch by Jadeja also.
One Bobby, Sir Bobby.
Undertaker versus Kenegal. Brothers from different mothers.
Babar versus Rizwan, winner qualify and loser could be in trouble as Quetta can eliminate them. So Multan and Peshawar are still not confirmed qualification. Quetta is still hanging there, but I think Quetta has played an extra game. सिराज को खेलना चाहिए था, वो काम आता इस पिच पे जान मारता. मैं अग्री करता हूँ, मगर प्रॉब्लम ये है कि उमेश यादव लास्ट गेम में 3 विकेट ले लिया, तो फिर अगर उसको नहीं खिलाए तो अंशुल भाई कोई और आके बोलता था कि भाई उमेश को खिलाना था, सिराज को नहीं खिलाना था. So these calls are 50-50. You just have to take that call, and the reason why they took it, I understand the reasoning behind it, because he had a very good game, he had a better game than Siraj. But I agree with you with your statement कि like Siraj would have been effective on this kind of pitch for sure. जब इंग्लैंड आई तो ऐसी पिच मत बनाओ. बिल्कुल ऐसा पिच बनाएंगे तो फोड़ के रख देंगे. They have to, मगर रैंक अगेन
700. आपको याद है वो रोड पे 500-600 मार दिए थे. ये तो रोड नहीं है 100%. This is more like चबूतरा या जो भी बोल दो, but I think it's just 600. You can see England coming out and having some fun. But ऐसी पिच तो नहीं. Rank turner would be the most dangerous for England, I think.
Yeah, and it's dangerous for India. That's why it's more fun. Like it can happen. Like उल्टा पड़ सकता, but डरो नको, खाली करते रहो, and I think eventually they would have won the series if this was a rank turner as well. It's a high risk, but yeah. Over here, what it is, you have to be patient now. You have to play attritional cricket. You have to take it 1 hour by hour. Sabar rakhna padta. I think India is still in the game because the run rate is not out of check or anything like that. They haven't crossed 300 yet. So if they pick up 2 wickets before they get to that 300, you never know. You can get them bundled for 340, 330 also. So for India, it's taking it 1 hour by hour. You have to stay patient. Then with the bat, you have to be patient again. Like you said, you can't just go and smash every ball because you have to put a price on your wicket. The wicket will allow you to go and hit, but I just feel that on this kind of pitch, just put a price on your wicket like Usman Khawaja did, and
exactly.
He, like you mentioned it, just put a price on your wicket and runs will come. I think there will be periods of time where you will get poor deliveries, whether that's with the newer ball when it comes onto the bat nicely, or it's when the spinners are tired. You will have your opportunity to score, but आप सबर से खेलो. That Pujara type might help.
Yeah.
Maybe not that extreme, but at least trust your defense and then play. Like, of course,
Fight
use
your
your
natural, like fight your natural instincts if you're an aggressive kind of a player, and just act a little bit more defensive. You see,
yeah.
Cameron
At
Green
least
also aggressive,
look,
but he
but
took his time.
but I would say like someone like a Shreyas Iyer, I wouldn't like. I would just play how he plays. If he gets out, I don't mind because that's his natural game. I don't mind him playing like that. But yes, I think someone like a Rohit Sharma put a price on your wicket. Someone like a Virat Kohli put a price on your wicket. But a Shreyas Iyer and even KS Bharat, I don't mind if they go and smash it. Like, just because so you get quick runs. But your top, what are we looking at? Our top four. Our top four, we need them to put a price on that wicket, bat as
For
much
the
as
process,
possible,
yeah.
and put Australia under pressure. If you have the odd
That's why I'm
batsman,
expecting, yeah. That's why I'm expecting a lot of runs from Kohli because of the situation and the wicket. Kohli can, design his innings in that way. We saw that even on the rank tournament, how he soaked in the pressure, played out
so
that 44 or that 22. So he has to soak, and yeah, hopefully then he'll reap in it. So I think it's just going to be something else. Like from Virat Kohli, I feel kuch karne wale bhai.
yes.
Yes, Saturday Multan versus Quetta, and Sunday Zalmi was. Yeah, PSL is turning out to be a very good league this year, right? I mean, I've not seen it this much. पहली बार इतना देखा मैं PSL, and it's been something else this year, and a lot of crowd as well. देखना
I've
Multan and
enjoyed the
Peshawar.
matches in Rawalpindi and Multan and these cities. I've enjoyed the matches there. Thoda
Yeah,
outside Lahore or Karachi se hatke, I've enjoyed like matches in these different places. Crowds are coming in full packs and like filling the grounds, and the atmosphere is brilliant, man. So I've enjoyed it this year. These smaller grounds or smaller cities compared to the other ones, I've
true.
really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Just a new flavor, and just acha hai from considering it. I never saw it, so for me it was like, "Arey bhai, acha, actually this league is good." And it's just you hope to see Pakistan, like not we as like Indian fans, but just in general for the game of cricket, you hope like Saim Ayub, these guys get their chances, right? Such good quality cricketers are coming up. You have that leg spinner. What's his name? We saw him in Pakistan's test team as well. The leg spinner. I forgot his
Boss
name.
Ahmed का नाम वो
सुक्का है यार वो, उसका नाम भूल गया मैं, खैर
ग्लासेस के
उन्हें,
साथ
हाँ,
अबरार अबरार ग्लासेस के साथ.
not Abrar, not Abrar. The guy bowled. I'll get you a name in a bit, but yeah, there's a lot of talent that is there in the PSL for Pakistan to grow as possibly like one of the better teams in T20, right?
Hmm. And the bowling quality is very good. केएल राहुल अब क्या सोच रहा होगा पिच देख के? केएल राहुल जो भी सोचे अब क्या कर सकते हैं.
Strike rate is not important सोच रहा हूँ मैं, वही बोला था.
KL Rahul is now. This is what a lot of people wanted. They've gotten it. He's not in the team. He'll have to work his way back into the team. He'll have to score runs. अगर उन्हें runs मारेगा तो वापस आ जाएगा. Talented batter है वो, लेकिन वो form में नहीं था. If he can get back into that form and score runs and get that confidence back, then he'll be picked again in the Indian team in all formats.
Yeah, so what Osama Mir was Osama Mir. He's also
Osama
there.
Mir, yeah, he's been good. Ehsanullah as well, man. Like
Ehsanullah, yeah.
he's bowled really well in the PSL this year. I think one of the top leading wicket
Anwar
takers.
Ali, there's another Anwar Ali guy. Yeah, he got smacked in one of the innings, but yeah, he's also decent probably. But he's a little old as well.
All other days of Rana Naveedul Hassan and Iftikhar and
Oh
Chon.
my! And Rana Naveed Hassan is coaching some team. I forgot. Person news में पढ़ा था वाला अरे क्या था यार उन्हें. He was also like something else, man. He was batting number in the middle and आके एक decent innings मारा था. He had a string of good innings.
उन्हें county
2005,
cricket में
2006.
देखते improve करा बैटिंग बहुत ज्यादा.
Yeah, yeah. Naveedul Hassan Rana उसका अलग ही
Naveed.
lineup.
Rana Naveedul Hassan.
Copy Wakar Yunus or something.
Yeah, let's take your hot take now. Let's get your hot take for tomorrow.
Hot take for tomorrow would probably be, yeah, I mean, I like, because I in the beginning of the test match, I said I felt Australia is going to win. I'm not happiest while saying it, but I would say Australia probably will get to a 500 or total right now. The way these two look very set, unless there's something in the early hours of the day tomorrow, considering the ball is a bit new, maybe India might get a wicket or something, but otherwise I just see Australia playing through the second session as well.
I'm thinking India get Australia out for 380 and they come out to bat and end the day at 200 for 2 or something like that. That would be cool.
That would be cool indeed. That would be something next level, man.
अगर इंडिया की बैटिंग आती है तो लीड कितने की लेनी चाहिए? 150.
पहले तो देखना पड़ेगा ऑस्ट्रेलिया मारेगी कितनी यार, फिर वो बनाना है नहीं बनाना है वो एक दूसरी टॉपिक रहेगी, बट लीड है 150 would be a good one to give them probably.
PSL might
might have
add,
to win.
for next
But who
year.
would they be? I don't even know the cities or like the places there. So
There could be Rawalpindi. There could be
Rawalpindi, Faisalabad, yeah, Faisalabad also, right?
Ahmedabad, yeah, Sialkot. There could be.
Sialkot Stallions कौन थे? अच्छा, that was in
No.
Hockey Premier League. Hockey
नहीं
Premier
नहीं
League.
नहीं क्रिकेट का ही था बट देयर वाज अ टी20 लीग बिफोर आईपीएल एंड स्टफ बिफोर आईसीएल आल्सो उसमें थे फैसलाबाद वुल्व्स सियालकोट स्टैलियंस
Yeah, Sialkot
कैप्टन
Stallions.
था तगड़ी लीग थी वो भी जबरदस्त था वो वी
कहाँ
टू
से
वॉच
याद आया कि मेरे को या
यूज्ड
या
टू
that's what I'm thinking से यार भी हमारे पास एक 10 स्पोर्ट्स जो अभी 10 HD हो गया चैनल हमारे पास ये चैनल पे एवरी डे मजाक नहीं करो क्रिकेट क्लासिक बोल के आता था 10 o'clock in the night or 9 o'clock in the night every day the same match Sharjah Tendulkar versus Australia that 100
ये
and he's
चेंज
debuting
होता
into
था
his
मतलब
first
शारजा में रहते थे शारजा क्रिकेट क्लासिक्स रहते थे वो चेंज होता था बट या देयर ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू बी शारजा के मैचेस आते थे
and we used to watch it
हाईलाइट्स
every time 10
या
wicket कुंबले का भी देखते थे कितना कितने चिन्ह देखते थे यार
वो जो टूर्नामेंट बोल रहे ये लाइक इससे पूरा 2005-6 की बात कर रहे हो तुम बहुत पुरानी बात है वो लाइक बड़े इट वाज
वो तो
क्रेजी
कोका कोला कप था जब तो याद है like we used to watch कोका कोला
द सियालकोट
But
स्टैलियंस वन आई थिंक
also, like you come to think of a triangular series, khatam ho gaya. Like I want triangular series back, right? Like Commonwealth, or kuch hota, West Indies and अपना trio खेलते थे South Africa, West Indies, India, something like that.
वीडियो
Like
कॉम
it's just yeah, Videocom. खत्म हो गया यार वो कहाँ चले गया कि
Yeah, it's because of like this. Since the big three has been formed, if you notice, कि नहीं हो रहे matches like that. It's just like bilaterals हो रहे. And अगर छोटे teams के साथ है तो एक दो match के series खिला रहे. अगर बड़ी team है तो 4-5 match का खिला रहे हैं. So I think since the big three has formed, that's what just the pattern that I've seen. I don't know if that's the reason. We haven't seen triangular. Triangular, I think, is really good because even if you get a slightly weaker team, it makes them more competitive. It improves them. I remember Sri Lanka improved a lot because of the triangulars. They kept rubbing shoulders against the likes of Pakistan, India, England. उसमें शारजा में तो quadrangular भी होते थे, if you remember. Like you know, उसमें चार team खेलते थे. So it makes it more competitive. And it's always good to have a tri series. I think at least once in a while. But अभी तो मेरे को नजर ही नहीं आ रहा tri series. It's been quite a long
yeah,
time.
a long time, man. I used to remember
Mohammad
those
Yusuf
things.
is going to be the interim head coach of Pakistan. PCB haven't yet come to an agreement with Mickey
Why
Arthur.
are they still stuck on Mickey Arthur, man? Mickey Arthur doesn't give a damn about them. मुझे Zoom call पे बनना चाह रहा coach. Misbah Haq was right when Misbah Haq said a few days ago that what a shame for Pakistani cricket. What level are we stooping down to? If we're gonna ask like someone who's like particularly not even interested in the job, so why do you want to go to Mickey Arthur when you have other legends in the game? Approach those guys. You have
It's
like
because under
I
this
want.
regime, when Najim Sethi was in charge, that's when I think Mickey Arthur was the coach, right? And Sarfaraz was captain. So they're trying to get that old regime back, I guess, and get the old control back. And he's won a trophy.
2025.
Is a try
Oh,
squeeze
remember how
back.
do you have 25, man? 2 years के बाद का बोल रहे हैं?
Yeah, in the FTP maybe that has been announced, but yeah, it's not as consistent as before. So yeah, it's been a
But
while.
it's always fun for a triangular. You remember that Commonwealth when India's lucks changed when we beat Australia and New Zealand, if I'm not wrong. We beat them at
Sri
Australia, and
Lanka.
that's yeah, India, Australia, Sri Lanka. धोनी उसे पकड़ के फेंकता हवा में.
It was Sri Lanka,
If I'm
right?
not wrong. I'm not sure. It was Sri Lanka or New Zealand. I think it was Sri Lanka. I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think you're right. Yeah.
I know
But
it
yeah, those were the days, man.
he or Simons का summer था वो in the test match उससे पहले. That was a crazy test series and one day series. It was really good that triangular. बहुत मजा आ गया था. उसमें भी विराट कोहली का कौन सा 130 of like वो जो 30 ओवर में उन्हें 300 चेस करा था उसमें ही था ट्रायंगुलर.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes,
2011
yes.
12. It was a different
Yeah.
year. It wasn't the same year you're talking about. India didn't win the finals this time around, but they reached the final because of Virat
Finals.
Kohli's spectacular knock. And that was when he basically announced him as a world beater, man. That innings. The way he hit Malinga and these guys was incredible.
That
And
was
his,
something else. Yeah, I remember that innings. Now what you're talking about. Abhi yaad aa raha hai.
it was incredible, man. It was in Australia. It was a really good innings. Pretty much wraps it up. Faz, anything else you wanted to add? Anything you wanted to discuss?
Just now we move on to the day two, man. It's just.
Day
I mean,
two.
I've enjoyed Khwaja's batting, to be very honest. Some of the strokes he's played and stuff. It's just fun to watch it, like just cricket as well. But yeah,
What I
you're
will,
just
yeah.
missing those quick wickets and drama. You're missing it, right?
Quickies, baby. No, I think it's going to be. It was a good test match. It's not my ideal test match, but it's been good. Like it's traditional cricket, been patient, and it's been a good contest between bat and ball. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But whoever's tuned in, make sure you like and subscribe. Also for the IPL, we have a lot of content coming.
Yeah.
And also like on social media, we'll be more active. So catch us there. We'll answer questions there as well and everything. We'll set that up and we'll be much more active during the IPL, and hopefully there'll be a lot of content that you like, different types of things. It won't just be us once a day chilling. We'll have that as well, Baithak to Rehenga, but we'll have different things. And so make sure you just share it with your friends and family, and let us know your teams, and we'll do a lot of topics and debates coming.
Masti and hangama. Masti and hangama.
ये टेस्ट मैच हो
Masti with
जाने दो.
Musti.
One day we
Yeah.
during the one day series we'll plan and then we'll smash it. In the IPL, it'll be 2 months of good fun. It might get tiring in the end, but it'll be fun. It'll be a
It'll be
lot of.
worth the effort. It'll be worth the effort, definitely, inshallah.
Yes. Would you like to add anything else?
No, sir. I think I've added. People are going to now subtract me. Add karte ja raha hu khali. But yeah.
Chalo. Okay, thank you guys so much. Catch us tomorrow live, hopefully similar time. We will review day 2 and dissect it. Until then, have a good evening. And I think that in a few hours the New Zealand game starts, so
Manchester.
enjoy that as well.
Acha, also Manchester United match as
Oh
well.
yeah,
But
actually United is playing and then New Zealand is playing. So yeah, enjoy that, man, and have some 7 Up fairs and take care of yourself. Okay.
I just forgot it.
uh,
Okay.
all right. Good night, sir.